Good morning. My name is Ruth O'Leary, and I'm the Director of Sales at SavvyCard. I'm going to be hosting your webinar today, and not because we're trying to sell you anything. There's nothing really to sell you. Space Coast Association of Realtors have purchased for you our old singing, old dancing version of the product. The reason I host these webinars is because I like to talk about the SavvyCard tool as a sales tool, and I like to show you how it will make you money. So without further ado, let me share my screen with you and show you what we're going to be looking at here today. And then we'll go through each of them one at a time. So everything I show you here today, you already have. I'm going to show you, if you haven't already claimed it, I'm going to show you how to claim it. And then I'm going to show you, again, as I say, how to use it to make money. So all of you have one of these, and we call these an agent SavvyCard because they represent you, the agent. And we're going to come back to that. And then for every single listing that's currently in Space Coast Association of Realtors or Space Coast MLS today, one of those has already been created for it. And we call that a property SavvyCard because it represents the listing for the property. So they're the two things that we're going to be looking at today. And I'm going to use Andrea's card for the purpose of this demo because I like to use a real person's card. It gives everything a little bit more of a real, vibe to it, really. So, without further ado, how do you get your SavvyCard? Well, when we launched with Space Coast Association of Realtors, we sent all of you emails telling you to claim your account. And I know what it's like, deleting emails. So I don't want people going back looking for old emails. But the best advice I'm going to give you here today, and I'm going to say it a few times over the course of this webinar, is when you get an email from SavvyCard, open it. That is the best advice you're going to get here today. We're only ever sending you something of value. We're going to identify what those, value items are. So I don't want you going back looking for old emails. So if you haven't already claimed your account, can you do me a favor and just go to SavvyCard.com. So SavvyCard.com. And then once you get there, can you hit on the box up here that says Get SavvyCard? Once you hit Get SavvyCard, can you enter the email address that you've got registered with Space Coast MLS and then hit Submit, and it's going to resend you one of those emails. Now, once you get that email, it's going to ask you to set a password. Your SavvyCard is password protected. And it's going to ask you to enter a cell number, and then it's going to text your SavvyCard to you. And the other thing that it's going to ask you for is a photograph. It's going to ask you to reply to that email and send in a photograph, at which point SavvyCard will apply the photograph to your SavvyCard. And your photograph can be a full body, and don't worry, my guys will do all the cutout. So it can be a full body, or it can be a headshot. It's whatever photo you use in your marketing today. That's the photo you want to send in to us here in SavvyCard. Now, some of you, when you get the card texted to you, and the reason you can get the SavvyCard texted to you is when you get that text message, you're going to get a text message with a link. And that link is just a link to a website. When you click on it, it's going to open your SavvyCard. So your SavvyCard is a website that's built specifically for this device. And 70% of all internet searches were done on that device last year. That number, of course, is only going one way, right, as we all know. So that's what you're going to receive from us. Now, when you click on that link, some of you might get a card that looks like this. And this is not what Space Coast is providing you with, but when we launched with Space Coast, we just never have enough time to put brokerage logos and real estate backgrounds on all of the all of the cards. So we have a default background for every market, and this is our default background for Space Coast. So if you've got this, don't worry, reply to the email, send in your photo, and at the time that our team are adding your photo to the card, they will apply a background and your brokerage logo and such to the card. You don't have to send them anything else except your photo. They'll have everything else, that they require to do the rest. So, okay, now once you've clicked on the link and you've opened the card, can you do me a favor? Can you just look underneath the card? This is what I want you to see. Save, view my Savvy cards, view my Savvy decks. If you see something asking you to log in, that tells me you're not logged into your card. Can you hit login for me and enter the email address and the password that you just set? And once you've done that, you'll see these icons underneath the card. So then that tells me you're logged in, which is great. So we're going to use Andrea's card, as I say, for the purpose of this demo. So this, if you like, this is the front or consumer-facing side of her card. Your email address and password is going to get you in here. This is the back end, control panel, engine room, if you like, of your card. And at the top up here, we have a thing called Savvy School. So if I click on Savvy School, well, as you can imagine, it's all things Savvy. And right now, this won't mean anything to you, but we're going to jump in and jump out of Savvy School as we go through this, and it will make an awful lot more sense at the end. So everything I show you here today is in here in bite-sized chunks. So we've got some videos here. They're all about 4 minutes long, share and text, referral team, so on and so forth. I'm going to scroll down here. We have, a listing presentation insert. I'm going to be telling all of you to take that into your next listing appointment. All will become clear, as I say, as we go through it. I have some user success stories. These are other realtors, just like you, who use the SavvyCard on a daily basis in their working lives. And when we see crazy spikes in analytics, our marketing team will reach out to the realtor and ask them, what are you doing? Can you tell me, walk me through it? And we'll make out a pretty little card like that, and we'll share it to other realtors. So my advice would be go in there, have a look at them, and implement them or copy them and utilize them in your own working life. Down here, we have bite-sized chunks, tutorials. How do I claim my cards? Well, it's going to tell you what I just told you. Click on, get SavvyCard, enter your email address, follow the steps. How do I change my background or add my photo? You don't do any of that. You just send your photo to us and we'll take care of the rest. Alrighty, down here, how do I add my SavvyCard to an Android phone? Okay, so I've had the card texted to me, clicked on the link, I opened a website. That's all I've done, right? So what do I do now? Well, you just opened a website. We've all agreed to that, right? And what I'm about to show you here, you can do with any website you use on a regular basis. I use this feature all the time. I love it. And once, if you've not used it before, once you start using it, you'll wonder how you ever lived your life with that. So with an Android phone, you click on the link, you open a website. And what we need to do now is access your menu bar on an Android phone. And your menu bar on an Android can be in one of 3 places. It's either these 3 little dots down in a row up in the top right-hand corner, or you can have a hamburger menu, those 3 lines, those 3 horizontal lines. So you can have those either in the left-hand corner or the right-hand corner at the bottom of your phone. So wherever your menu bar is, just tap it for me, and it's going to roll up or roll down. And what we're looking for is add to home screen. So add to home screen, just follow the steps, and it will take that website and add it to your home screen and place it there looking like an app. Now that's not an app. We haven't downloaded anything, right? That's called an icon. And all websites today have an icon design. So you can open any website, add it to your home screen, and it will look like that on your home screen, an icon with their logo or something on it. So when you send your photo into our team, they're going to add your photo to the card and also to the thing that looks like an app on your phone. So now it will look like an app with your face on it. And, that's pretty cool, right? Alrighty, what about me though? I've got an iPhone. What do I do? So same deal. You've had the card texted to you. You click on the link, just opened a website. We have to access your menu bar. A menu bar on any iDevice is that square with an arrow sticking out of the top. So tap that square with the arrow for me. Your menu bar rolls up. And again, we're just looking for add to home screen. Select add to home screen, follow the steps, add in the top right-hand corner. And there it is. It places it on your home screen looking like an app. It's not an app, it's called an icon. All websites today have it designed. I use it all the time. I have a whole page on my phone dedicated to recipes. And then I have another whole page on my phone dedicated to travel. So once you start using this, honestly, you'll think, oh my God, I just never knew. Okay, so we've got it on our phones. And what I like to do is I like to walk you through one of those videos. So we're going to take a look at share and text. And the reason we're going to do that is because, well, two reasons really. One, share and text will tell you why, where, and how you should share and use your SavvyCard. And then the second reason is because I like to think it gives you a nice little flavor for what those other videos are like, and it'll make you want to watch them. So share and text goes a lot like this. Alrighty, what do we do today? We do that, don't we? And we did that an awful lot more before COVID, didn't we? We did a lot. So I'd ask all of you, the 2 years prior to COVID, how many of those did you hand out? Right. Do you have the contact details of everyone you gave one of those to? Nobody does. And how valuable would that be to you if you had? But the real kicker comes when you ask people, all those cards, where do you think they all are right now? And we all know, right? 90% of all business cards end up in the trash in the first week. The rule. And 90% of the 10% that don't end up in a drawer somewhere or a pile on someone's desk. We're all guilty of it. But the problem with that is this. That's a potential customer walking away from you with a piece of paper somewhere on their person. So share and text is 250 times more effective than handing over a paper business card. And you can do it anywhere. You can do it with anyone. You can do it as soon as you finish this call with me. And what I want you to do is to ask someone, can I text you my business card and follow up with you later? So instead of handing over a paper business card, you're going to text your SavvyCard to people that you meet. There's a couple of wins straight off the bat. The first is to you. You get prompted. Do you want to add this person's details to your phone contacts? Which of course you want to do. And then the recipient is going to receive a text message with a link. They click on the link, the card opens up, and now they're prompted to add your contact details to their phone contacts. And that's a win right there. I'm going to tell you why that's a win on the next slide, but it really is. And then we encourage you to follow up by text message, not by calling, but by texting within 1 to 2 business days. So why is it a win that somebody adds your details to their phone contacts? Well, that will be robocalls. And in the United States of America in 2019, there were 54 billion robocalls made. The number is only going one way. Now, because of those pesky robocalls, 50% of all calls made in the United States of America today go unanswered. So round about now, I like everyone to agree with me that your customers are just like you and me. They're human, right? They're just people. They do all the things we do. They like all the things we like, and they dislike all the things we dislike. They're just people. And we do that. You and me, we do that. Call comes into our phone, we don't recognize the number, we think, quarantine. So your customers are doing that to you. Now, the way your SavvyCard product circumvents all of that is You meet someone, you tap on the icon, it opens your SavvyCard into your mobile device. You press the share button, you select share to individual. And now all of a sudden, in order for me to do this very simple transaction, I need your name, I need your cell number, and I don't know, I'm going to type in a message. Let's find you a home, perhaps. And then we press share. Now, the first win is to you. You get prompted. You're going to add this person's details to your phone contacts, which of course you want to do. So you hit download contact card. If you have an iPhone or an Android, just follow the steps. The recipient receives a text message with a link because it's just a website. They click on the link, the card opens up, and now they're prompted to add your contact details to their phone contacts. So that's a win right there. Alrighty, we then encourage you to follow up by text message within 1 to 2 business days. By text, well, a couple of slides ago, we all agreed that your customers are human, that they're like you and me. So what are you like with texting? Because they're the same. And there's wonderful science around texting at the moment. The science is effectively this. Texting is the cleanest form of communication that we have today. And when we get a text message, 99.9% of the time, regardless of which app that text is being delivered through, it's from someone that we know. And it's that very simple fact that causes a rush of endorphins in us. And that rush of endorphins makes us want to reach almost involuntarily for the phone. So if you text someone after you've made contact with them, you increase the likelihood of doing business with them by 112%. So let me jump over here now and jump into Andrea's card. And all right, what do we know about the card now? All right, well, we know it's a digital business card. Okay. So this button right here, the listing button, this is an IDX feed. So we've got an integrated IDX feed on the card, and you guys know how this works. I now, as a consumer, can be searching for property directly from your tool. And I'm just looking at all the information the listing agent has put into the MLS. But as a consumer, when I ask a question or request a showing, that lead will be emailed to Andrea in real time. So when you get an email from SavvyCard, it's my best advice. Okay then, so digital business card, lead capture, and we now have an integrated IDX feed. Okay, let's take a jump in here to the back end. So do you remember in share and text, and I asked, do you have the contact details of everyone you gave a business card to, you know, I don't know, last 4 years, last 3 years, whatever, X, right? And nobody ever did. But SavvyCard can make that a reality for you. If I come here and look at card analytics is really a share log. And SavvyCard will store every share you've ever made. So if I come here and I look here, you can see this is where I met Andrea on the streets of Melbourne, and she shared her card to me. There's my name, there's my cell number, and there's the message she put in when she shared her card to me. But I, in turn, shared Andrea's card to my friend Dad Power. Here's his name, here's his cell number, and here's the message I put in when I shared Andrea's cards to my friend Dad Power. Now, when you share your card to other people, certain things happen. So here, Dowd received a text message with a link to Andrea's card. But Andrea, in real time, received an email from SavvyCard saying, hey, Andrea, Ruth O'Leary just shared your card to Dowd Power. Here's his name, here's his cell number, and here's the message that Ruth put in at the time. So I think it's fair to say, isn't it, that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call money in the bank. So when you get an email from SavvyCard, you know, I implore you to just open it. Okay, now that we understand that, if someone shares your card to someone else, you get notified in real time. Well, I have a video for that, and we call it referral fee. And And referral team will effectively tell you that all of your past clients, all of your friends and family, all your vendors that you work with, your roofer, your plumber, your electrician, all your team should have your face on their phone. And it's in your best interest to spend a couple of minutes with them, not even minutes, seconds, 30 seconds, to say to them, listen, I know you refer me today. I'm super grateful for it. I truly am, but if I get you to refer me using this digital business card, I'll get notified in real time. I can follow up in real time. So here's how you do that. Let me just get it on your phone for you right now. And then when you're sharing it to someone, just press that share button, select share to individual, fill out those boxes. I'll get that information. That's in your best interest. Just take a couple of seconds, make sure they're comfortable with it, right? And then you're effectively, forming an army of people out there as referral partners for yourself. Okay, let's jump in here to the back end. Now, also what we can do is see here, export the last 30 days, export all. You can export all of these contacts and put them into another CRM if you use one. Alternatively, of course, this is a wonderful place to store them. So whenever we're in our back end of our card, and it's not our main dashboard, by simply clicking My SavvyCards up here at the top, it will always take me back to my main dashboard. So I want to edit this card. So I like to say, it's your card, it's your call. So you decide what's on here and what buttons are on, what information is behind the buttons, so your card, your call. So first things first, when you get here, I see a couple of more things because I'm SavvyCard staff. But when you get here, they're going to open up, by default on background. So the only thing you're going to see when you get here is card info. And when you click on card info, the only thing you're going to see is description. What it allows you to do is put a title under your name. So once you've done that, just hit save for me once you've made an edit. You come in here and change that every hour of every day if you like. So background and picture, other than that, belong to us. Buttons, we're going to come back to this. We call these round things on your card buttons. Icon also belongs to us. This is where we put your photo and we'll put a nice polished background on it. So that's ours. Settings also belongs to SavvyCard. Marketing is yours. All SavvyCards generate an email signature. So after you've sent your photo into us and after we've added it to your card, you can come in here and you can click whatever email signature you like, come down here and hit generate email signature. And this is just a copy and paste exercise once you've done so. Now, we talked about opening all of the emails, didn't we? When you send your photo into SavvyCard, you're going to get one of two emails back. So open the email, see what they say. One email will say, got your photo, works a treat, thanks ever so much. It can take us up to 5 business days to get your card fully customized and get that ready for you. You get that email. Or you could get an email that says, got your photo, I'm so sorry, it's not going to work for us. And they'll tell you why. And they'll ask you to submit another photo. So keep an eye on the emails. And then obviously we need your photo to put it on the email signature if you've picked one with a photo. Now, also, all SavvyCards generate QR codes. So these things became super popular during COVID, didn't they? And the wonderful thing about that is that consumers know what to do with them when they see them. So my advice would be this. If I was a listing agent, I would copy that, I would send it to my printer, and I would have it put on all of my for sale signs or on a rider. I'd have it certainly put on all of my printed materials, regardless of whether I'm a listing agent or a buyer's agent. It's just a wonderful, cool way for people to get your information when you are not standing in front of them. When you're standing in front of them, I would personally never give somebody like, oh, scan my QR code, because that's back to the days of handing over the paper business. All I'm doing if somebody is standing in front of me is I'm giving them access to my information. So now they can walk off with my information. I haven't gotten theirs. And what's of value to me is getting theirs. So for that reason, I'm going to share my card. I'm going to press the share button, say, I need your cell number. Oh, let me type in a message. So this for me is only when I'm not standing in front of someone. How can I get them to get my information when I'm not physically in front of them? Okay, let's go back and look at buttons. So we call those round things on your card buttons. And it's a super, super easy product to use. Anything down the right-hand side that's green is on. Anything that's red is not. So my only advice when it comes to this product is this. If a button doesn't serve a purpose on your card, turn it off. It's just noise. It takes from the buttons that actually are delivering value. So let's go through them one by one. So the first thing we have is button style. So you can pick whatever button style you like. So we are going to, once you pick it, just say save. And you can change that again every hour of every day if you see. Call and email. Now we pull for call your primary contact number with Space Coast MLS. If that is not your cell number, and it really should be your cell number, then that would tell you that your primary contact number at Space Coast MLS is not your cell number. So you need to go back and change that with them. And then once you change it with Space Coast MLS, my system will get poked, come in and we'll pick it up from there. Email. So this is the email address again that you've got registered with Space Coast MLS. If this is not what you want to use, change it with them. We've got poked, we'll pick it up from there. Text. You should absolutely have your text button turned on. So come in here, enter your cell number for me, say yes, show this button on my card, press save, it will turn that green and it will pop a button on right there. About me. So this is nothing more than a Word document. It's copy and paste from your bio, wherever that may be, LinkedIn or your website. And again, if you think this brings value to a customer, then you say yes, show this button on my card and press save. About my company. So again, I pull name and address of your brokerage from the MLS. And then down here, I have a Word document, again, copy and paste mission statement from your brokerage website. If you believe that this brings value to your customer, if you do not, turn the button off is my advice. So I'm going to turn it off just for the purpose of this. We're going to say hide that button for now. And then find me. Okay, name and address of brokerage, yet again. So the difference with this is that when I press find as a consumer, it's going to give me turn-by-turn directions to your office. It connects to Google Maps. And, you know, if we were all meeting people in our office, that's a pretty useful button. But when was the last time you did that? So I don't believe it serves any purpose today. So I'm going to turn it off. And you can always change your mind later on. You can come back in here and turn buttons back on, you know. So I'm going to turn that off for now. So my sites, social, and contact info. Let's go down to contact info first. Now, when you share your card to someone, and they click on the link and the card opens up and they're prompted to add your contact details to their phone contacts, they are adding whatever information is in here. So this is very important. Come in here, make sure this is absolutely filled out correctly. Add your website address, put in your fax number or whatever, you know, why not? And then just hit save once you've made any edits. And then it's up to you whether this button is on or off on your phone. I like this button. I like it a lot. So for me, it's always on my card. A person can receive your card in other ways rather than you just sending it to them. I mean, we already discussed they can scan a QR code and the phone will be, you know, the website will be sent to them. And when I come here to contact info, I can add your contact details to my phone contacts directly from this button. So I like this button. I think it serves a really valuable function. So I leave it on mine, but your card. Okay. We now have social. So you can layer the card with social media channels, you know. So all you have to do is open whatever social media channel you want to add. And then we're just going to copy that website address. So let me copy that. And then I'm going to bring it back here. And we're going to say add another. Now, I've just copied that email address or that website address, excuse me. And when I copy a website address, I also copy that http://. So we need to delete that first, and then we can paste the website address in here. And look, you can see it right there. That https:// is right there. And now I'm going to select whatever it is, you know, Facebook, Instagram, doobie-doobie-doo, whatever, you know, and you can add as many as you like if you believe that that is valuable. My sites is more interesting to me, I think. So I will see some people, let's have a look at Andrea's card, excuse me. So some people will add their website to it. So I see a lot of this. Here's the website I found for Andrea. So I find that a lot of people will go like this. They'll just copy their website. You know, we can layer the card with website addresses. So we can add another. And again, I'm going to delete the HTTPS because I copied that. And I'm going to paste that in here and I don't know, visit my website. Why not, right? Visit my website. Now, I'm not a fan of this. I say, yes, you should put your website on it. Why not? But I need you to also open your website for me. And when was the last time you did that? You know, it's not the purpose of our website, is it? So I need you to open it for me and I want you to have a look at it. So I can come here, valuation request. I like this tool a lot. So all of you have one of these, a home valuation tool. You're either getting it from your broker, you're getting it from your MLS or your association of realtors, but you've got it from some one of them for sure. So just have a, you know, a check with all of them and do a class like you're doing here with me. And then what we can do, as we know, we're going to talk about why in just a moment. I'm going to copy this and now I'm going to bring it back here. And I'm going to add another. I'm going to delete the HTTP because I copied it, paste that in there. And now I'm going to call this exactly what it is. Get your free home valuation. Alrighty, what else does Andrea have for us? Let's have a look. Featured listings, property search. Okay, yeah, I think we've got an IDX feed on her card. So, okay. So we're going to leave it with that, I think. But, you know, you can put on here, you know, tips for buyers and sellers, join my team. That's another good one, I think, you know, all that sort of stuff that you have here. Now, once you've loaded your card up, once we've got them all in here, we can move stuff around. So I can grab this hamburger menu right here, and I'm going to say, I like this one more. So I'm going to put that up there. Whoops, excuse me. And alrighty. Oh, problems with my mouse. Okay, but you can just grab these and move them around. So let me do that. So okay, I'm going to press save here. And then we've done social already. So there are buttons. We've got stuff turned on. We've got stuff turned off. Now, before I actually go and talk about Andrea's card and do a refresh and show you what those new buttons look like, this is the last thing I want to show you about the card before we talk about it. So my name is Ruth O'Leary. And if I put my name into a Google search, there's my SavvyCard coming up number 2 today in a Google search for my name. So this other Ruth O'Leary, we jump around each other, we dance around each other, me and that other girl. She's number 1 today, I'm number 2. I'll be number 1 next week, she'll be number 2. But number 2 in a Google search for my name is pretty good, right? So if I click on that, there's my SavvyCard. So like any website, right, we index or can be found in a Google search. And not magic, by any manner of means. I simply use my product. And every time I or somebody else presses a button, Google sees it as a click-through or engagement. So it just has tremendous organic SEO capabilities. All righty, let's talk about the card now. So I'm going to do a refresh, and wherever Andrea's card is today, wherever it is, when somebody taps the icon with her face on it, they're always pulling from her back end. They're just refreshing her website. So long as you make changes on the back end, wherever your card is, it will always see what information you've got on the back end. So now we see we've got our new button styles, and we've got our information here. So it depends. You can see here, by having these buttons turned on, it means other buttons are being pushed to the back. And you have to ask yourself, what's more valuable to me? So I'm going to make a change. I'm going to remove the About Me. And I'm going to say no, hide that button for now. I'm going to press save. This is all just personal preference. And then when I come back here and do a refresh, now I have my sites button showing. Okay. So here's why, for me, I would do this. We're going to talk about it. But if I meet Andrea on the streets of Melbourne and I'm looking to purchase a home, then no argument for me. Her giving me access to her IDX feed is the most valuable thing she can give me. But as a realtor, you don't walk through your life just meeting people who are looking to buy or sell houses, right? That's just not how the world works. So what else do you have? What do you have from me? So I own my own home. I'm not looking to buy or sell at this present moment in time. So what do you have for me? And I believe that this home valuation tool is really undervalued by realtors. I am like 99.9% of the population in the sense that my home is my largest financial asset. Am I interested in knowing what that's worth? Yeah, I really am. So giving me access to this, where we all know at some point I'm going to have to put in my email address, right? And then it's going to email me. She's going to have me set up on a drip marketing campaign where once a month, once a quarter, once every 2 months, whatever that may be, I'm going to get an email from Andrea telling me the value of my home and what the market around me is looking like. Out of all the emails I delete, I am opening that one, right? I'm curious, gosh, I hope it went up from last time. And if I go and sell my house in a year or a year and a half's time, you'd like to think that I'd reach out to Andrea, wouldn't you? Because she's that really nice gal who's been sending me that information for the last year and a half. And that's the kind of thing you have to think of. What tools do I have today? What perceived value can I give to customers today to secure my customer of tomorrow? Right? So that's where your mindset should be. So go and check out the other tools that are being provided to you by your MLS and by your association of realtors that connects them here. Use your SavvyCard as a hub as a digital hub for those tools, and then the card itself as a distribution channel for that value, depending on the audience member who's standing in front of you. All righty. The other thing you guys have on this card, we saw that this is an integrated IDX feed. You also have a Find Services button on your card. So I can go here, 32903. I enter the zip code. And, I'm looking for, I'm looking for a plumber. I can do this, do a search. And there is my plumber right there. So now I have service providers on the SavvyCard as well that will bring value to both of myself, to both you, and also your customers. Okay, so that is your agent SavvyCard. And now that we know a little bit more about it, let's think about what it is now. So our agent SavvyCard is a digital business card with an integrated IDX feed. It is a lead capture and lead generation tool. It will index in a Google search, and it's a digital hub for tools and also for vendors. Alrighty, so that is your agent SavvyCard. And we also now, as we know, provide SavvyCard. So for every single listing that you currently have in the MLS today, one of those has already been created for it. And we're going to talk about going, not wanting to go back, looking at old emails, but when you put a listing into the MLS, our system gets a code. And we create a property SavvyCard automatically using MLS data. Our system will then send an email to the listing agent saying, hey, congratulations on your listing. Here's a link to your property SavvyCard, but here are some things we recommend you do with it. You should share it to the home seller. You can do it from this email. Press this button. You should share it to your social media channels. You can do it from this email. Any of these buttons. So we call this feature seller share. And I'm going to come back to that in just a moment. And then this feature down here, we call it listing share. So I mentioned earlier that I don't want people going back looking for emails. Going forward, we're going to open emails, but going back looking for old emails. So for any listing that you currently have today, if you go to your dashboard, your SavvyCard dashboard, this is the control panel as we know for our agent card. And then down here, all of your listings are actually on that dashboard as well. So just to the right of them, we have share to home seller. Click on that for me, and it's going to ask you for the name and email address of your home seller. And you're going to enter the name and email address, and then our system is going to send an email to the home seller with a link to their property SavvyCard. And it's along the lines of, Dear John, your real estate agent, Andrea Gagliano, has created this standalone website for your home. She's marketing it through various channels, but she recommends that you do too. The more interest and leads you generate, John, the more family of fashion, we'll sell this home, and the best opportunity we have of maintaining asking price. Here's how you do that, John. Press the share button. Select share to social. Pick any of the social media platforms that you use. Write something personal about your home. Ask your friends and family to share. Press post. So this is actually really interesting because ordinarily I would be telling you if this was a standalone home, a single dwelling home, I would be saying to you all that we all know that Andrea has a great big wooden for sale sign on the perimeter of that home, right? So a realtor will put a for sale sign everywhere that they can. So with a condo block like this, it's tricky, isn't it? Where do you put it? And also sometimes the HOA won't allow it, will they? So having a home seller share a standalone website for their own home to their social media channel is a lot like having a digital representation of a for sale sign go right through the home seller's channel. Because that home seller, as we all know, is probably connected to a Facebook group, connected to the neighborhood, or various apps that people have that are neighborly related. So a home seller giving them access to this, a standalone website for their own home, they can push it out to whatever, group network that they're on. So a lot like having a digital representation of that for sale sign go right through that home seller's channel. And the number one reason for that for sale sign, we know here on this call, don't we? The number one reason for any for sale sign is a realtor is, in the good old days, putting a stake in the ground that says, my name is Andrea Gagliano. I'm a listing agent. This here is my farm area. If you're thinking of selling your house, call the number on this sign. By the way, I'm selling John's house. right? That's the number one reason for it. Leveraging what we've got to win our customer of tomorrow. Now, interesting story, in fact, for you, 7%. 7% of homeowners in the United States of America today say they were made aware the home they live in was for sale because they saw that for sale sign in a yard. 7%. It might surprise you to learn that 9% of homeowners in the United States of America today say they were made aware the home they currently live in was for sale. They were made aware of that fact through the home sellers channel. So, I mean, in an ideal world, that for sale sign is all about getting us a new listing, but it actually attracts the home sellers sphere, attracts more buyers. 9% of homeowners bought a home because they were made aware of it through the home sellers channel than a for sale sign outside the door. So it should be standard operating procedure, is what I'm saying, really, you know, in the same way that you would never not put a for sale sign out if you have a choice. You should never not share your SavvyCard to the home seller as well. So we call that feature seller share. And I'm sure it won't surprise any of you to know that we have a video called seller share right here. And seller share will tell you what I just told you. But what it will also tell you is that seller share doesn't begin at the end. Seller share begins the moment you walk through the door to your next listing appointment. And it's going to tell you to scroll down here and to download this listing presentation insert and take this with you into your next listing appointment and use the technology and the feature to win the listing. So if it was me, I would be telling them, John, as well as all the wonderful marketing things I'm going to do for you if you list with me, I'm going to create one of these for you, John, a standalone website for your home. Do you know, John, that 9% of homeowners in the United States say they were made aware, so on and so forth. And here's how we're going to access that 9%, John. I'm going to create one of these for you, and then I'm going to send it back to you. And you in turn are going to push it out to your social media channel. The more eyes we get on this property as soon as it hits the market, the more timely a fashion will sell it, and the best opportunity we have of maintaining that asking price. So we use the technology and the feature to help win the listing, because once you win that listing, then, you know, you put it into the MLS, and SavvyCard will take over and do the rest. Okay, so the other thing that email said was you should share it to your own social media channels, right? You can do it from this email, press any of these buttons, depending on social media channels that you have. So when you share it to your own social media channel, I think again on this call, we can all agree it's not about who's going to buy this lovely content sooner or later. So new home or new content on the market in India, Atlanta. I can't even spell, excuse me. Okay, if you are looking for a home in okay. My eyesight is not what it used to be. I recognize that for sure. I believe it is. Excellent. Then surrounding areas. Click here. Fingers. So, okay, it's a new home on the market in X. If you're looking for a home in X or surrounding areas, click here. So we're going to push it out to our social media channels. And again, you know, let's just take a look and see what that looks like. But I'm sure you're all very familiar with the expression clickbait. So all digital marketing today is clickbait. We just want you to click. So these guys up here, they just want me to click. Okay, and that's what we want people to do, right? We just want them to click. So let's just say that they click. What are they going to do? So they're going to look at the photos first and foremost. Then they're going to look at property details. And if they've got kiddies, they're going to be looking at nearby schools. Well, we've got lead capture forms behind all of those buttons. And if they're interested or they've got questions, they can go through that lead capture form, and that email or that lead will be emailed to you in real time. When you get an email from SavvyCard, open it, please. Or they can just press contact agent and call, text, or email you. But if there's something about that condo that's just not quite right, well, there's also a listing button right here, and they can search for any home, can't they? Because you can sell them any home. It's not about this home. We're just using this home. We're leveraging what we've got to win our customer of tomorrow. So that's all we're doing with it. So listing share effectively says that, because I have a video, as you can imagine, and listing share says that everything you do in the MLS, we mirror on the Property Savvy. As you go through the sales cycle, we go through the sales cycle. You drop the price, Property Savvy Card drop the price. You put in new photos, Property Savvy Card has new photos. So every time you make a change in the MLS, you should be pushing out the Property Savvy Card and using it as clickbait on your social media channels. Once it sells, I would be pushing it out. Just sold this house in record-breaking time. You have a house in India Atlantic that you're thinking of selling. If so, contact me. I have buyers, right? So that's the sort of thing. We want to be constantly pushing it out, leveraging what we've got, regardless of what state it's in, to or stage it's in, to get our customer up to money. Okay, so now that we understand the product a little bit better, let's take a jump into Savvy School, because this will make an awful lot more sense now. And then I'm going to take any questions that you might have. So if you have any questions at all, can you pop them in that questions and answer box for me, and I'll deal with them all for you now. All right, so our videos. We've dealt with all of these. We know what they all are. So I don't know if any of you are doing your own Facebook ads. We have some helpful little hints here and guides telling you how you can set up a Facebook page, a business Facebook page, run some ads if you want, you know, and use your SavvyCard obviously as a landing page when you do those ads. We got asked by realtors, can you do the ads for us? So we set up an advertising team and an advertising department, and they will run Facebook ads for you if you would like to reach out to them. The beautiful thing about this program is it's a pay-to-play service. There's no contract, there's no monthly fee. You get a listing, we create a Property Savvy card. If you're in this ads program, when that card is created, it will shoot it over to our ads department, and they will use the Property Savvy card as the landing page when they run a Facebook lead generation ad around the zip code of the listing. And on average, they generate 60 leads, 60. So if you're interested in that, have a look at that video, or indeed, I'm going to bring a number up here in a minute and you can just give them a call and they'll walk you through it in far more detail. We then had people, those leads are texted and emailed to the listing agent, or you can have them sent to more than one person in real time. And we all know you're meant to follow up in a timely fashion, but sometimes it's hard, isn't it? Not hard, it's impossible when you're working by yourself. So we then got asked, can you help us out? Can you do something with those leads? I can't deal with it. So we then set up Savvy ISA, which is effectively a virtual assistant for you. And again, instead of those leads going to you in real time, they'll go to your virtual assistant, and your virtual assistant will do a timely follow-up for you. They'll be contacted within 90 seconds of the text hitting these guys. And not just once. They will then nurture that lead for up to 5 months. They will call them, they will text them, they will email them. So again, if you're working on your own and you're thinking, you know what, I could do with some help here, have a look at these two things right here, or else give the guys a call directly and just schedule some time to speak to them. Okay, let's go down here now and look at our tutorials, because now that we understand it all, it will make so much more sense. So we know how to claim our card, update our photo. This is our card analytics. the share log, if you like, on the back end of your card. So that tells you how to access that right there. We know how to add our card to our phone. How do I share my cards? Well, you just press the share button, select share to individual, follow the steps. Or select share to social if you want to share it onto social media. And how do I add or turn on or turn off buttons? So this here will tell you how to do that. This will tell you how to set your email signature. That's right. The email signature that none of us knew we had an hour ago. And this here will tell you how to add tools or layer the card with other websites, how to add things to your My Sites button. And then you can also, of course, add, vendors to the My Sites button as well. You can add your own roofer or plumber or whatever, websites you'd like to layer onto it. And then this here will tell you if you want to change the telephone number or the email address on your card, you do not do that with us. You have to do that with Space Coast MLS. And then once you do it there, it will poke our system. We'll come in and we'll pick it up. So, okay, we've come nicely into time here, I think. Do we have any questions? And if you do, can you just pop them in that question and answer box for me? And I'll answer them right now for you. I do these webinars weekly. It's the same webinar. And I very rarely have questions, if the truth be told. In the early days, we used to, and then we, incorporated those questions into the actual presentation itself. So I like to think it's very simple to follow and very straightforward tool, really. The real key is open the emails that you get from SavvyCard. That's, I think, the big takeaway here. Sometimes we like things to percolate and to sit down and have a think about it before, questions come. So if that's the case and you want to ask us anything, we're neighbors to you guys. We're just over in St. Pete ourselves. So, we're Eastern Standard Time, same as yourselves. Our office hours are Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. If you've got anything at all, pick up the phone, give us a call, 727-502-6012. You can always shoot us an email at support@savvycard.com. We also have that chat function on our website. So if that's your preferred methods of communication, then please have at it. So the Savvy School would be my first port of call for anything. It's a great digital resource. It's got every single thing we looked at here today in there in bite-sized chunks. But, after you've gone in there, if you still have something for us, just reach out. You'll always speak to a nice, friendly SavvyCard person. Alrighty, so that's all I've got for you today. So all that's left for me to say really is thank you so much for giving up your time this morning. I know everybody's very busy, so I appreciate you carving out some time to come and join me. And, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Stay safe out there and be savvy. Alrighty, bye-bye, guys.